Oki. Itamixkanatuni. Good morning. It is somewhere just after 8 a.m. in the morning. No, 8 a.m. in the evening. On Friday, the 14th of April, 2023. We are in the last quarter of the lunar cycle Sa'aki Sum, the duck moon, which is our sixth of 7 winter moons. So we're just about to go in our last moon. We got a coulee bingo sheet here for south-facing slopes like this. Here you should be able to find, can you find sage, a northern scorpion, erosion, skunk brush, golden bean, rattlesnakes. Nice. This is something from this must be the north-facing slopes over on this side. Chokecherry bush, June grass, cottonwood, switchgrass, creeping juniper. Yeah, cool. That's neat. That's fun. I'm not going to pick it up though. I'm actually a proponent of litter to some extent. I'm not the guy that believes that our current way of dealing with our refuse is to make as much as we want of it, which is what we seem to do, and then pile it all into a big toxic, here's that sage they're talking about. Pile it all into a big toxic dump that's going to be, however many millions of years toxic. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's a little bit here and a little bit there, and drastically just reducing the waste that we make to begin with is better. So when I come across refuse like that in the coulee, I don't know. I don't see it as I see it as out of place, but not out of place. Because we're part of this place too. But we're just a trickle in here, and so there's just a trickle of our refuse. I guess we're more than a trickle. Anyway, I got way off topic. Haven't been down here to the wilderness park for at least a week. I think probably 2 weeks since my last real visit to the park here. And I woke up this morning itching for a hike, and was curious to see who might be on the water down here. I'm stupid because I left my monocular in my truck, so I'm just gonna have to go off what I can see on my telescoping camera, but that doesn't go nearly as far. Just coming down off the top, there were a couple of Sukhsisimstan, which are western meadowlarks. The first western meadowlarks that I've seen this season. And I got close enough to kind of videotape one of them, but for the most part, I was just kind of creeping along, looking, because they were low in the low brush. And of course, they flew away, knowing that I was spying on them. I haven't really explored this coulee going down before, so this is a new coulee for me. I see there is a lot of ninakaksim, the man sage, that's used most often for ceremony, although people get sometimes the wrong idea when you say sage is used for ceremony, because at least in the Blackfoot way, sage is also estempsis. It's butt wipe, toilet paper, the old-fashioned toilet paper. And so it's a cleanser. And the way it's used in ceremony is as a cleanser, but it derives from that very embodied use as butt wipe. So sage at least in the Blackfoot tradition, is not used as a smudge or something like this, but rather as a cleanser. So I know when I used to travel with the elders in repatriations, a lot of times they'd kind of chuckle to themselves when people made a big deal over the sanctity of sage or whatever. Anyway, we should be getting down to the river pretty soon. This is a nice little coulee. It's very isolated here. I like this. I like this. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a coyote den in here. Yeah, this is a really fantastic coulee. I am enjoying this. Found a umbrella that somebody dropped, and I noticed that, well, it must have been dropped out here a while ago, because it has a couple of egg sacs, insect or spider eggs, here and here. I think I'm going to, well, I'm taking the umbrella, of course. It's all, look, it's all perfectly good and functional, although it's a little bit flimsy for our weather. But for an emergency umbrella, I don't really use umbrellas except for in collecting bullberries and such, but sometimes you want it for shade or something like that, you know. So I'm going to tuck it away, but I'm going to probably, when I get home, take those egg sacs off and put them in jars and see what comes of them. Anyhow, yeah, I'm liking this coulee. I think I might go down to the bottom there and see what kind of rocks are coming off of the slopes here. You never know. This is not the first goose carcass feeding site that I've come across coming up this coulee. I think probably all the coulees here are going to have goose carcasses that are being chewed up by, collected off the river by coyotes, brought up here and chewed up, you know. They're all avian flu carcasses, I'm sure. I want to go this way, actually. Just getting my first sight of the river. Still pretty high up, but I want to peek over this ridge because I bet it's going to be a nice sight. See, maybe a deer or something came up this way. Coyote, perhaps? No, this deer as well. I don't know what that might be. A rock licker. I bet there's fossils about. Just looking at this soil. Oh yes. Kaboom! Pretty awesome. I love my environment here. Wouldn't trade it for anywhere. See a ring-billed gull. You guys aren't going to be able to see that. Here, let me show you some stuff with my other camera. Here we still have Couple of golden eyes. There's another one there. 2 males and a female. Where's the female? She's up ahead here. Oh, is that eagles? Oh no, that's a ring-billed gull, which actually sound a lot like eagles. Where is he? There he is. So the golden eyes should be headed out. The ring-billed gulls are new in for the season. Who's this? Might be another female golden eye. Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of activity on the water here this morning. I thought maybe I would come across more birds. I was hoping maybe even some swans and these kind of, because I know they're in the area. They just don't like Lethbridge. In any case, I'm gonna hike along this ridge here, head down that way. Looks like there's another beaver lodge over against this shore right there, but I wonder if it's active or not. I know this one down here, that's that main one I've been keeping an eye on. That one is definitely active, but anyhow, let's hike. Holy smokes. You know, I kept hearing sounds, and I was thinking, gee, that really does sound like an eagle. And check it out. Check this out. Where is he? There. Skinny. The bald eagle, whitehead in Blackfoot. But even better, remember I said on one of my last trips here that I thought I saw a nest on the other side of the river that could be eagle's nest? Check it out. I believe that is exactly. Hey, I got an eagle's nest to watch. This is gonna be so fucking cool this summer. I can't wait to see baby eagles growing up here. We're gonna watch this on the channel. That is awesome. Woohoo! That's a big deal. For me, that's a first eagle's nest I've ever had in the coulees here to watch in Lethbridge. That's awesome. I am super jazzed about that eagle's nest. What a reward for coming out here. And actually, I wouldn't doubt if they've got chicks already, because they would have been sitting their nest for a month already. That's way cool. I'm gonna definitely have to come out with my kayak and get on the other shore for a bit of a closer look. Not too close. That's way cool. Also, I think I see ammonite coming out of the, definitely there's a lot of chunks of it falling off. This is all ammonite coming off here. Look at that. Right there, that's just a shell of some of that gemstone. Not really the best example. But that's what it is, sure enough. This was an old, would have been like looked like a nautilus shell that was here in, you know, way back dinosaur age, when there was an inland sea here, and plesiosaurs, the big underwater dinosaurs, used to hunt them. So you find a lot of them with a big chomp mark in them from those dinosaurs. It's pretty cool. But yeah, looks like he's coming out from right here, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Oh, maybe right up there some coming out. This, not so much. Whoops, I cracked that, but there is a little bit coming out right here. I'll see if I can get to it without killing myself. It's a little steep here. Oh, whew. That's rough, very rough. But sometimes, you know, I got friends who do it for a living, who just come out on these slopes, find themselves nice ammonites coming out, take them home, clean them up, polish them, sell them. Just over by the rapids now, and I'm suspecting maybe a goose nest on this island. Looks like there's a steadfast gander anyway. Couple of wingbill gulls in the water out here, probably looking for clams or crawdads. And we got some goose couple feeding on the shore. They no doubt have a nest nearby. That's a big island out there, so probably a few nests on that island. I really should bring my kayak. A next adventure. Perhaps even Saturday morning. Britt is telling me she's, if she doesn't have to work Saturday, she's gonna head up tonight to Edmonton to visit her sister and her sister's fiance. She hasn't seen the place they've been living in there the last 2 years, so her and one of her sisters are gonna drive up, pick up their niece and come back home on Saturday. That'd give me Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, wide open. I could definitely do a little kayak adventure. I think that might be in the cards. Just making straight passage now across the plain here to get to the downstream side of the river by Pavan. Take a look there, what's going on. And then probably I'm gonna go up one of these coulees as an alternate instead of just returning a regular route. I'm in the exploring mood today. Want to see some new stuff. And definitely am seeing some new stuff. This is cool. Little by little, getting to know this site. I would like to learn where the coyotes are denning. Of course, I would like to learn where the bull snake dens are here, because there's certainly one somewhere here. We get enough bull snakes in the neighborhood right above to tell me that, and I've seen neonates crossing the road. So that gave me some kind of indication of the proximity of the den, but I've never found it yet. Yeah, this is definitely becoming, quickly becoming my one of my favorite, well, it is one of my favorite parks now. Spokane, Cottonwood, the confluence of the rivers, and here, really my favorite places to visit and learn from. I bet a lot of wildlife shenanigans goes on in these big chokecherry thickets. That'd be a place to stick a camera for like a year. was some deer into the thicket just now. Just walked up this way because I saw Gate Scarp sitting up here. I think he's faced away from me. See if I can get an angle on him so we can have a look. And they're always hard to see. A lot of brush over here. Just about, well, I can see the river, but just about within view to see whether anybody's on the river that's interesting. These cliffs over here are amazing. I really need to learn to read the geologic periods in the sediments, you know. There's no reason I shouldn't know that. Oh look, we got a goose acting goofy up here. Anybody on the river? The river looks quiet and quite empty. I think most of the golden eyes have taken off. Certainly not the big flocks that were here my last few visits. Yeah, quiet. So I'm walking along and kind of planning how am I going to do my kayak. Either I'm going to have to find somebody to help drop me off downstream or upstream so I can come down, or I'm going to have to do some uphill paddling, or maybe I can do uphill paddling and walking, you know, or upstream paddling and walking for a ways to get to the calm waters, and we'll get there. We're going to have an adventure tomorrow. That is a plan, man. I'm a little bit concerned about my income right now, which is almost nothing. I have a few traps out there, but they're not really hitting right now. I think most of the mothers are being very careful. The nursing mothers. I mean, eventually the whole season's going to open up and I'm going to have plenty of income. But right now, like, I have nothing. I have nothing coming in other than a little trickle of EI every 2 weeks that just doesn't even pay my basic bills. So this morning, part of my reason to get out here and get walking was just to kind of clear my mind, because I did wake up in a little bit of anxiety over the whole thing. Yeah, that's a killdeer over there. You hear it? They've just come in. I saw a killdeer earlier in the week that spoke me, but obviously they're all over the place now. I don't see him, but he's small and he's on the opposite shore somewhere. Lots of just carcasses still littering the shore. I was out at standoff on the blood reserve this week, and buddy out there, I forget his name, he came and introduced himself to me. Hey, Rattlesnake Man. But he says he watches my videos, and says along the river around the perimeter of the reserve, he didn't see any or much for goose carcasses. Like, the avian flu didn't seem to have the same effect there as it did here in town. My suspicion is that's because the waters out there aren't just generally as open so you don't have the kind of goose population you do here in town with the warmer open waters because of the water treatment and shit. So I think this is just where the geese were, and they were dying. Wherever they were in big numbers, they were dying. All right, I'm gonna go up this coulee, right up in here, because this looks like fossil town. Just for fun. I don't think I'll find anything, but you never know. Finding lots of little fragments of clamshell and that kind of thing. Nothing very exciting at all, you know. These clams were the same period as those as the ammonites, because they also have bites in them, a lot of them, probably even more than the ammonites do. I don't know. I find a lot of bitten clamshells when I find them whole, but right now all that's here is just scattered fragments, bits and pieces. Had to stop and take my jacket off. It's getting pretty warm. I did find one almost full small clam. The shell has come off of it, and it's just half. This is kind of neat. Look at this. It's just mica crystals. Tons and tons of mica crystals. Sometimes you can find larger pieces like this, and in my repatriation work in the British Museum, there's an example of a kind of a bandolier that has some of these mica crystals tied onto it. Old Blackfoot bandolier. And I asked my elder, late Alan Pard, what that was about, and he says that was the precursor to mirrors. When mirrors came in, they replaced these mica crystals, but what these are being used for is to reflect off anything, sapomopy, any negative stuff that's sticking to you. This instead of it sticking to you, it'll reflect off of you, hey? And that's the significance behind the mirrors too, that are still used on a lot of people's, like, regalia and stuff. You know, it looks nice, but there is actual significance behind it too. Yeah, these are just very cool cliffs here. I love it. I love it. I don't want to leave my backpack though. And grab that and soldier on. We're gonna go up the top of the coulee here, and then gotta head back that way along the coulee rims and stuff. Make my way back to the vehicle. But it'd be interesting to see if there's anything like even moss phlox or anything in flower yet up in here. Haven't seen any flowers at all this season as yet. Shall we look off the point? Might as well. I just came up right here, which is quite a steep climb from river to here. I'm a bit winded. Not too bad though. Goodness. Let's look off this point. Whew. How close should we get to the point? It's kind of cut over, so I'm not going to get too close. Look, all of this is fissuring off this piece that I'm on. Fuck that. I'll get over here. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna go up this way and then cross country, I guess. I haven't taken this route before, so I don't know whether it's just gonna be empty, boring field or really what to expect. I may have taken it once before, but still a ways to get back to the vehicle anyway. Well, solves that mystery. Pretty much is a big field up here, which is what I thought. Haven't seen any moss phlox in bloom yet. Lots of the plant around, but no blooms. I did see right when I was coming off of the river that the golden bean, the flower pods are starting to push through the soil. They'll be opening up pretty soon too, along with most of the early flowers, but none as yet. Nor have I come across any kipiapi, the prairie crocus that everybody associates as an early flower out here. I still probably got a kilometer at least to hike in this direction to get back to the vehicle. That's all right. Lots of coulees here to explore. I have not been up and down all of these coulees. I need to be, and this is my backyard, you know. And I'm putting that on my docket for the summer to study, try to learn something. Well, summer is a good time to be studying life, not such a good time to be studying rock. But maybe for next winter, learning some things about the sediments, being able to read the different epochs and stuff on the coulee. That'd be something good to add to my guiding repertoire too, in general, for when I'm giving walking talks and just being a general coulee educator. I could see somebody coming here as a visitor and asking me, you know, what can you tell me about the sediments? I don't know. Black stuff, bear paw formation, ammonites, I don't know. I don't know enough. All I know is where I find the kind of badland soil that I find like crocodile and turtle remains in, and I know, you know, the kind of soil, the dark soils where you find ammonites and clams and those kind of things. But my knowledge is pretty slim in general, geologically. Wow. Just come across a little wetlandish type area up here. I've never taken this way before, so I had no idea. What is that down there? I think there's a goose nest down in there. I just seen her hunker down. Can you hear the meadowlark? Now he's gonna be quiet. There he is. That's very cool. I like it. I like it. I'll go down and see if, in fact, there's a goose hunkered over here, or if it was just like getting in the water when I saw it. I have no idea. There's a goose right there, standing up. Probably the gander. See if there's a nest out here. This could be the goose that I saw, and it could just be alone hanging out, although, oh yeah, maybe he's got something over here. Cool, I like a little backwater with some cattails and all of that. This is nice. I had no idea this was up here. This is nice. Almost back to my truck now. At least I can see it yonder. Walking in this big field area, it was a good, kilometer and a half to get back. That's a good stretch. I'm thinking it wouldn't be a bad place to take some of the dogs, like Sid or Jenny, to stretch their legs a little bit. I'm scared, of course, to like bring Sid here and let her off her leash and hope that she stays with me. But I think she would, and I think she'd enjoy it. And there's not, you can see a long distance away. If there was any other dogs coming, that's the only thing she really worries about, is getting in another dog fight. Of course, there can always be coyote incidents, but you can only do so much to protect. But yeah, I think that's a good area to kind of let loose some of these guys that probably would love to stretch their legs. Anyhow, I guess that's it for the day. I am hiking past the subdivision stuff, past the houses of Legacy Ridge right now, and that are bordering the park here. My truck is just over there. I just got to go around the gulch. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a kayaking. For sure, there's going to be a lot of follow-up on that eagle nest coming soon.